When we step into a new identity, it feels a lot like wearing a silly, really funny looking costume. But when our inner conviction matches our daily actions, that's when the new identity starts to feel like skin. And where we get tripped up the most is when our daily actions are not consistent and not fully solid in the cadence and they're not fully a habit yet. That's when the lack of self-trust creeps in. And if our inner conviction is not fully formed and fully solid and fully baked, that's when our imposter syndrome kicks in. But when we have that solid inner conviction and that solid action to back up the inner conviction, when they meet at the heart, we become the most dangerous version of ourselves, because in that we become unstoppable. Recently, I've been really obsessed with bending time. Here's what I mean. I was on a call recently and someone was asking this really beautiful question about wanting to be a more fluent, concise public speaker, but not feeling like she was fully there yet. And she asked such a smart, clever question. She said, "Is there a way that I can get there faster, or is it just practice?" And this lit up my entire body. And what came out really surprised me. I unmuted myself on Zoom and I said, maybe let go of this idea that it's going to take a long time. You can decide right now that you are that person, that you are an amazing speaker. I've been practicing this in my life and it has completely changed everything. I'm going through an embodiment journey and I want to be in the healthiest, most vital, most fucking badass version of myself era possible. I want to be in the best shape of my life, essentially. I want to be in such good shape that the casting director of the next John Wick movie is blowing up my phone and telling Ana de Armas to take a vacation because I'll be taking her spot. That's the type of version of myself I'm stepping into, and it comes with a lot of rewiring of my identities and changing my habits, like, because the habits that were serving the person who isn't that badass version has served me for a very long time, but is not serving that version that I want to step into. So the habits have to match the vision. And I have started and stopped many, many times on this weight loss journey or this getting in shape journey, mainly because I have felt so disheartened by knowing that it's going to take a long time. Knowing that it's going to take years to get there has really hindered me from committing, because to be quite frank, there's so many moments where I just don't have the patience. I don't have it in me to accept that it's going to take years to get there. But it took me years to get here and to put on the weight and to get, like, I've done so many years of not taking care of myself, but the reality of it taking a long time to get to the complete 180 is really, really hard to grasp. And it's just something that my brain just wants to resist that idea. So I just give up and start and give up and start and give up. But lately, what has happened as I've really stepped into this new era of my life, of just knowing that I can become literally anything I want to become, I started really just fucking bending time. I thought to myself, well, what do I want to feel when I lose whatever it is, 50 pounds, 40 pounds? What will my body feel like? What will it be like to be in that body that can move very fluidly, that is very flexible, that's very strong, that's very muscular and lean and just like a fucking assassin? And I thought to myself, like, that version of me is already done. I've already decided I'm that. Because I thought of that future version of me, if she's looking in the mirror, what is she seeing? That version of me looking in the mirror is able to say, I'm so proud of you. You've worked really hard for this body. You've sweated and bled for this body. And you've taken care of me like a fucking well-oiled machine, and I will take care of you and I will protect you. You're so beautiful, you're so sexy, you're so cool. All of those things is what I imagine my future self would say. And what has shifted everything in my life is knowing that that version is already done. I already exist because I can look in the mirror today and think I'm the baddest, the coolest, the sexiest bitch in the room. I can literally feel those feelings today. It is not earned through all of that. And so when I start to imagine and turn the imagination into a lived experience and a lived reality, then all of a sudden the timeline goes from this and shrinks down to this. And I'm already feeling that. And yes, I know that I'm also being delusional, and I know that my physical body is not exactly what I'm envisioning in my head. But if I start to really believe and feel what that version of me feels like, there is no fucking difference. Then all of a sudden, I'm not chasing after that body or that version of me. All of a sudden, I'm just like, that thing is here. That thing that's, I thought I have to toil and like hustle and fucking grind for out there is here in my heart, in my like intuition, in my being. It's just ingrained in there. It's imprinted in there. And then everything else starts to literally bend to my will. And this has happened with so many things. Body is just an example, but I was on another call where someone was talking about like, he had said multiple times, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not good at sales. Like, sales isn't my thing. And of course, one of his struggles was closing sales with clients. And I learned from that. I looked at that and I was like, oh, I always identify as someone who sucks at sales. And I'm a creative, I'm an artist. I don't know how to close a sale. But I started thinking, I'm like, what if I decided right now that I am really fucking good at closing sales and I'm just a sales fucking queen and I just know exactly what to say and clients just can't help but want to work with me. And I closed the sale. And I could in my head be like, I need to work really, really hard for 6 months to become a good salesperson. And I need to learn all these different skills. But like my coach said recently, and it stuck with me, that the skill stuff is usually 0.5% of the problem. 99.5 of the problem is us not believing in ourselves. And it is so fucking true. It is so, so true. And so I offer this to you. So whatever thing that you're dealing with, can you shorten the timeline? Can you tell yourself, actually, I'm going to take that timeline and make it tighter and bring it back to me. And it could be this identity that you're trying to step into, or it could be something very different, or a new habit that you're trying to build. And there's all these things, right? That like, oh, you need to do a habit for 60 or something. I forget if it was like 33 days that you have to do something to make a habit stick. But what if today you decide that habit is part of my life now? What if you just decide that it's going to take you less time because it can, and you've decided, and then notice how that shift affects the results. It's just such a fun, cool little thing that I wanted to share, because it's really been transforming. It's really been just transforming my life for good. And yes, there's definitely a bit of delusion happening. I think it's really about is mindset and inner conviction and self-belief and self-trust. That is what it's really about. And you can call it delusion if you want to call it delusion, but just try it out and see how it goes and have fun with it, because bending time is really, really fun when you know that time is money and you know that we all are here for such a short amount of time. So why not make the most of it? Why not bend it to your will?